Hi, welcome to the channel. Today is the day I've been waiting for quite a while. I'm actually in the middle of tidying up and rearranging in my Lego room, so it's kind of chaotic in here, but I had to pause from that because finally the images of the new Ninjago City Markets has been released. So I'm going to take a look at the images with you for the very first time for me and give you some of my thoughts. For those that are interested as well, do hang around for the second part of the video because I thought this would be a good opportunity to show you around my Ninjago City extension mock, which I built a few years ago. But first of all, let's have a look at the new set. So here it is, 6,163 pieces. That's the biggest Ninjago set ever. Not just of the Ninjago City sets, but the biggest Ninjago set ever. Also the most expensive, €370. But considering the amount of pieces, it's a great piece to part ratio, and we get 21 minifigures. There is a lot here, and the initial impression straight off the bat from this image is that this is a very big set. It looks like two 32 by 32 base plates. I'm pretty sure it is. You can see the gap in between there, and this is massive. Perhaps not as much building as we're used to, but it's made up for by the fact that we've got this terrific cable car in the middle and huge amounts of detail, as is the norm with these sets. We get a nice looking ornate bridge crossing over the middle here with what looks like a couple of wheel arch pieces from larger scale cars, and then a small build for the gondola here, another new gondola type boat, which is simple but effective. And then looking carefully here, it looks like we've got some interesting piece uses for the side here. I'm not quite sure what those pieces are. Are they train pieces? I feel like I recognize them. And then over here, this roof build here is also new. It looks like made of doors, perhaps. Not quite sure I recognize that piece either. So if you recognize those pieces, drop a comment. See if we can identify those together. Lots of nice sort of shrubbery, vines growing up at the back here. And again, we've got a green sword for sort of reeds, frogs making an appearance again. Same water effect, of course, as the previous sets. And then if we go up a level, we've got more signs continuing the same style from the previous set. So this is going to look absolutely superb with the other sets. And then we've got some nice little plant pots there with the piece from the Transformers Optimus Prime's mask being used there. I think that is. That's really cool. And the tree on top looks perfect, absolutely perfect. Sort of upscaled bonsai tree almost, but similar to the trees that we've seen in this range before. Lots of great colour, more nice signs here, and then on the top there, that looks like is it a squid holding a frying pan? Looks like actual custom designed frying pan there. I guess we'll see that better in upcoming photos. Let's move on. So this is the box. So you can see the amount of minifigures here. This is tremendous, absolutely tremendous. We'll have a brief look at those. I'm afraid I don't know all the names of them. I don't follow Ninjago that closely. Dragons Rising, Ninjago City Markets. What a terrific looking box as well. So here we can see not a whole lot more from the previous photo. You can see there's another sticker there. Another sticker there. Got a change in colour for these lantern pieces from the original set. The original set had orange ones. I can't make out what that piece is. Definitely feel like I recognise it though. We've got what looks like a record there. Does that mean there's going to be a record store? If there's a record store in this set, I'm going to be over the moon. So here we can see the different levels that come off. So it looks like the second level there actually is one large piece, and that this area here sort of stays where it is, and these pieces slide out, which is pretty phenomenal. Is that a bakery down the bottom? It looks like it. It looks like a little bakery with some pastries and croissants, and this looks like a bedroom with a bed. And over here, I can't quite make out from this photo what this is. Can't zoom in anymore, unfortunately. Okay, this is now the back. So some nice detailing with the ingot pieces going up there. A little door here with a sort of small balcony posing area for minifigures there. And then a little blacksmith in the corner here. Looks like he's making some katanas. And here we get a nice close-up of the cable car. I really would love it if this thing was powered, but I'm afraid I don't think it will be. But I'm sure that there'll be a way to incorporate that. So this looks like some sort of a control tower. It looks like a sort of corner of a tower, this, with a generator or something on the outside, air conditioning unit, with some nice design work for the top there, and the antennas that we've seen on the previous builds. Yeah, so this is a bakery. That's really nice. Nice use of space there. Got a couple of baguettes, pretzels, croissants, rolling pin. Smashing. Okay, so this is like a game room, and we've got a pool table in the middle. Very small design, very square, small design for a pool table, but I guess it works. You can identify it at least. A jukebox on the left-hand side with a golden sausage, which is pretty cool. And then it looks like we have a till and a dartboard, and in the back there must be some karaoke going on. So again, lots of detail in a small space. And here we've got some accessibility for wheelchairs. So that's the first time that they've included that, I believe. So here we have a look at one of the bedrooms. It looks like a bunk bed that we have in here. Figure looks absolutely huge here, but it's just so zoomed in here, the image, that he just looks massive. But it's going to be a pretty small room, that. So 51 centimeters, 20 inches wide. It's massive. It's half a meter wide. I was hoping they were going to include some images of the set next to the other sets. Let's see whether there is in the video here. It's just a spin around. But actually, I think I saw the knob there. Yeah, there's the mechanism, I think. That one there, I'm assuming, is the mechanism. Or perhaps there, actually, there's a knob there as well for the cable car. And then you can get a better look at the roller coaster piece there and the frying pan that the squid is holding. That's a really fun looking character. And he's got that buildable action figure face as the top of his head. That's awesome part usage. I got to say, I think my first impressions are that it's really about the cable car, this set. The spaces inside, I like the game room and I like the bakery. I think the bedroom is a bit already done. So I've seen that before a few times now. I appreciate that you need to have bedrooms and habitable spaces, but I would have loved to have seen a little record store. Really would have loved that. So she's looking pretty pleased with herself. Not surprised she's playing with this amazing looking set. Okay, so here we can see the cable car going. Yeah, so that's definitely not motorized. You can see that it wasn't traveling smoothly there. Nice bit of building there for that sort of girder on the side there. We have a working toilet, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. We actually have a working toilet with some poo coming down and out into the sewer there. Okay, all right, that just boosted my overall rating of the set. So yeah, this is going to be a purchase. I'm not sure if I'll get my hands on it day one. I'll have to probably look at selling off some Lego in order to pick this up on day one. But oh, I just spotted the squid there. I would have liked to have been able to pause that and see his frying pan. It looked a bit like a magnifying glass, but then I thought that there was a piece sat inside. I want to see that. I can't make out what that is. I wish you could pause this video. I'll be able to pause it, of course, after I've finished filming this. I can't make out what that is, but it looks really cool. It looks like he's frying a pancake or something in there. And here we get a better look at all of the minifigures. So I really like these new headpieces for the ninjas. I think it's nice to get a bit of variation. And these are almost like helmets on the top, it looks like. And then we've got some sort of buttons to hold this sort of draped bit over. I think those are cool. sort of half a pauldron on his shoulder there. We've got a Detective Zane, an all-silver Detective Zane. He's going to be popular. I'm afraid I don't know all the names of these characters. Forgive me, I don't follow Ninjago that closely. I'm just in it for the builds mainly, but I do love the printing on some of these. Those two characters have got absolutely awesome printing, very steampunky. My kids are going to love that flame torso there. And then I really like this copper here. He looks like he's stepped right out of the 70s. Awesome face printing, the hair is terrific, and the torso terrific. And we've got a character from Starlight Express or something, it looks like here. Straight out of the 80s, that one. And then we've got another detective of sorts here, I believe. Also from the 70s. Oh my god, that's a Bionicle print on that torso. So yeah, Lego really know what they're doing. I don't think there's many kids that are going to know what that print is. And it looks like there's a new headpiece on that character as well. Lots of good prints here that are very reusable for all kinds of custom building here. I like the dungarees here. This must be the sushi bar worker, I suppose. And the baker comes with a new hat mold, including hair. Pretty sure that's new. Not seen that before, at least. Yeah, awesome. Awesome figures, as usual with these sets. So yeah, we've got a working cable car between levels. That is pool at it's a karaoke club, okay? So it is pool. It's not a game that I haven't heard of. Flushing toilet at the sushi bar. So it's another sushi bar that we've got here. Unfortunately, it's not any other type of restaurant, but it's a sushi bar again. Bit of a shame that they couldn't come up with something else other than a sushi bar. We've already got one of those, but nonetheless. As mentioned, it's nice to see the wheelchair-friendly lift, and it's actually part of the station, I notice now, so that's nice. I assume that you'll be able to fit the character with the wheelchair into the cable car, otherwise that would be a bit useless. And here finally we get the first image of how it stacks up against City Gardens. So you can see it's considerably lower in height, but it's quite a lot bigger in width. So this is going to have some presence, but it's not quite as tall. I really can't wait to see this with all four sets on display and see how that looks, because it's a bit of a different shape and I'm not sure where it will fit in at the moment. I first saw this on LEGO's Instagram page, so I thought we'd also just take a quick look at the reel here and see what else we can make out. So there's a nice shot of Zane and our Starlight Express hairdresser. Okay, cool, some nice flamethrower pieces there. It's a nice, well done video, isn't it? Awesome. There's the copper with his handcuffs, and you get a good look at some of those stickers there across the roller coaster piece. Ah, is that chopsticks? Looks like a new chopsticks piece. God, it looks terrific when all those characters are moving, doesn't it? Now, the issue I've had with displaying these previously is that you're kind of locked into this configuration a little bit because of this overhang of the roof here and the overhang of the balconies on the gardens here. So that's obviously why LEGO designed the little temple area there as well, in order to bridge the gap between those modulars. It makes it a little bit odd that this walkway here doesn't sort of lead anywhere. And in order to join that to the gardens, you need to remove these balconies, which then makes this area here a little bit cramped. So with that said, the only place where the new market set is going to fit in will be here. And that's in between the original city set and the dock set. Having a look at the pictures, I can see that there isn't an overhang on the left or the right of the market set, which means that it shouldn't have any trouble fitting in there, but we are going to have issues with it fitting in here because of the roof here and because of the balconies here. So it's going to look a bit funny if you put it directly onto the temple there. And LEGO are actually suggesting in their marketing images that the set is going to fit onto the end here, turning a corner. So this makes me wonder whether LEGO have a very long-term future in mind for this range, perhaps just like the original modulars. I wasn't really expecting there to be a fifth set, but the fact that they're implying that the set should fit over there is making me wonder whether they're going to be continuing this range for quite some years to come. Now, obviously, I'll be very happy about that, but my wallet won't be. So I've put a couple of base plates in here to
show just how long this display will become with the new markets in there. And really, this is going to be a colossal display. I mean, well over 1.5 meters in length. I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can get the full effect. But I am pretty sure that this will work on one single shelf, and it is going to look just amazing. So let me know what you think of the images. Will you be picking this one up? Will you be waiting a little while like me for a reduction in price? Or will you be picking it up on day one? Do you own the previous sets? Do you have any ideas for how to configure this in the best way? For those that are interested, stick around and I'll show you my extension mock as well. So when the original City set came out a few years ago, I didn't really like the fact that it was a corner piece. It looked a bit incomplete. And in order to solve that, I built an extension to go on the left-hand side here, just to create a full building here that could then sit on the shelf. So I copied and modified some of the original's techniques and designs. You can see that I tried to mimic a little bit the roof there with the roof over here and the window here with the window over here. But otherwise I tried to incorporate my own ideas and designs with this. Now the only trouble that I've since run into when it comes to displaying this is that this piece really only fits very specifically on the left-hand side of here. You'll see a bit more why later, but it's mainly due to the fact that I have doors on the back side here that the lift comes up to. So I kind of held off a little bit on creating more or adapting these just to see what LEGO would be releasing in the future. So you can split this out here using Technic pins, just like with the original builds, and turning it around, you can see that it's almost the same depth as the original build, just half as wide. Looking at this from the back, I'm particularly pleased with the way that the water area continues around here. And you can see here what I mean with the lift that goes up to the door here. And then we also have another door down here. So not only are these doors sort of inaccessible if you put this up against something else, but you also have to remove the doors completely in order to get it flush because of the door handles. So not as modular as I'd hoped, really. It kind of has to sit against the original City set, which means that the rest of the display kind of needs to come off this way. So we can then at this point just split this away completely, and I'll give you a bit of a closer up view of each level. So starting with this top level, I thought it'd be fun to have like a little garden area with this mustachioed chappie here, with some gardening scissors, a few shrubs around. And then I wanted to find a really original design for the roof, but still had the sort of Ninjago aesthetics. So I tried to replicate that a bit with these curved pieces here, and then of course some of the trees or shrubbery here with the bright coloured leaves on the side here. I was quite happy with the design of the roof because this whole piece actually just sits in here, it's not attached, and it's just made up of 4 of these windshield pieces from sort of smaller utility type vehicles in city sets. And then this whole roof piece lifts off, and inside there we have a little bench top with all kinds of different flowers, 3 of them made from hair pieces. And in the corner we have a little basin or a faucet with a tap and a bit of shrubbery growing on the wall. From the other angle we can see he has a little desk with a little cooking pot lamp with a nice little printed tile with a dragon, perhaps some mythical recipe for plant growing. I don't know, I'll let you use your imagination. This then lifts off and we can have a look at the next level. So the next level is a restaurant, and you can see Lloyd through the glass there tucking into some soup or some noodles. I was pleased the way that this came out with the gold pillars on the side here, as well as these printed Ninjago windows from one of the temple sets. Around the back of the restaurant there's a few of these ornate gold pieces, which I think really fit the part, as well as a couple more of those dragon windows. We'll then take a little look at the interior here as well, where I've created a little kitchen in the corner up there, as well as some utensils hanging on the wall there for easy reach. And then that area is sort of sectioned off with this little display area here with some sauces and a fish. And then I thought it would be customary to have the seats on the floor. So that's what the jumper tiles are for. Those are seats, and there's an ice cream there ready to be eaten by somebody. We then have a small build for the till just behind our waiter there. And if we spin this right round, you'll see I managed to get an aquarium with 2 fishes and some shrubbery into the back there as well, which I was really pleased with. We can then move on down to the next level, which is a small supermarket. I'll spin this one around for the best view. So here I used a few existing stickered and printed tiles in order to continue with the style from the original set. So I think this is a tile from a city set. And then of course we have the Mtron print, which is upside down. so it's to represent a W here. And moving around the side here, I used the hotel print from the Friends set and a couple of other tiles there that I managed to find from my spare parts. On the back here there's another simple build for a plant using a green hairpiece, and you can get a little glimpse of what's to come just inside there. Finally, on the outside here I made a couple of gumball machines, and then I also had a little go at building one of these more elaborate, ornate corner builds like the original set has as well. I think the colour scheme is a bit off with a bit too many colours in it. Probably would have been better with a bit more gold, but that's what I ended up with at the time. So we can lift off the restaurant here as well and have a peek inside. Now, in terms of fitting a lot into a small space, I'm pretty pleased with what I managed to get away with here. We have a large fridge in the back there. We've got all manner of produce here with little muffins and cakes at the top and strawberries. Moving down, we've got milk cartons, orange juice at the bottom, and maybe an energy drink down there. We've got baskets in the corner. We've got the sort of fruit and veg section where I've managed to fit in quite a few different types of fruit and veg, which I was pleased with. And then just in front of that, we've got the little bakery section, a fresh loaf and a croissant there. And then we've got the chest freezers here. In there, we've got some chicken drumsticks and a couple of other bits. And then we have this central display unit where we've got some more cakes and tarts and bottles, a little perfume there. Inside that glass jar, we've even got a bit of cheese. Just before the till area, we've also got some mugs and glasses for sale, as well as some cereal and some more tins. The till is a very small build, but I managed to get it in. And we also have a dastardly shopper in there. It's the Riddler. So moving on to the second to last level then, I ordered a few more of these sliding printed window pieces that we used in the original set in order to continue the aesthetic. And this one is a music room, which I'll show you the interior for in just a moment. And on the back of this room, I used a couple of these rounded pieces from the Star Wars escape pod. And on top of that, I placed a couple of these gold railing pieces. So let's lift the supermarket off and take a look inside this one as well. This is actually the last of the rooms that I did the detailing for because it took me a little while to know what to do with the interior. So I didn't just want another bedroom here. But this one became a music room, and in the back there we've got a little bookshelf with some music books, and we've got John Lennon there playing on a nice piano, an upright piano. And I managed to squeeze a little saxophone holder in there, as well as a couple of custom guitar stands, which are quite simply done, but they make good use of the space. And of course, when his muse isn't around, then he's able to take a few steps up onto this nice balcony area here, breathe in some fresh air and come up with some fresh inspiration. So now moving on to the ground floor level, where I've continued the walkway from the original build going around here. But this level is actually a little tavern. So just lift that off, give you a better view. So I used a couple of stickered and printed parts on the walls there, with a little flag out the front. And I'll just spin this around so that you can start to see the interior there. I managed to squeeze a lamp in the middle of the room, and in the back there you can just about make out the bar, which I'll show you a bit closer in a second. We've got Jack Nicholson sat out the back there enjoying a glass of red, and there's space for another figure to sit next to him there. Finally then, I'll just give you a closer look of the bar lady there. And spinning this around, you'll see that there's a little space there for a bench and a table. And on the other side, we've got space for just one little stool there as well. So I managed to just about make the most of this space. I also put in these little archways, just like the original set has. And I even included water here, just like the original set has water there to match up with that. Of course, you can't see that when they're put together, but it just adds that bit of continuity for when you pull the sets apart and take a closer look at them. Finally, for the water detailing, I took inspiration from the way that LEGO had done things. I used some green plates and some dark tan plates underneath the water there to indicate shallow areas, and a little archway here where the water flows out there as well. I was pleased with this angular corner here, as well as this other smaller archway here as well. So I think that's about it for this one. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Please consider dropping me a like as it helps the channel to grow. I hope to see you again, and bye for now.